Hi, welcome to the 6th episode of the Growth and Gratitude podcast. A couple of disclaimers on this one. First of all, if you are feeling suicidal, please call 911 immediately and get help. If you are even considering harming yourself, another resource that could be helpful is the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Please call at 1-800-273-TALK, TALK, or 1-800-273-8255. Please get help. I also want to say that though my topic today is feeling better, and I've done a lot of research and I'm certified in 2 coach certification programs and have studied the techniques that I'll share with you in a lot of depth. None of this is meant to replace the care of a licensed therapist. If you are under that care, if you need that care, please seek the support that you need. This is not meant to treat or diagnose any form of mental health concern. But with all that said, I do feel that what I have to share could be incredibly helpful. One, it could be helpful if you are wanting to feel better right now and need support in ways to feel better right now. 2, if you feel perfectly fine right now, I still really want you to watch and pay attention. Watch or listen. This is on YouTube and all the podcast apps. So wherever you are, please continue to stay with me for this episode because I will teach you techniques that you can use when you need them. And you can always save this video or audio so that you can come back to it when you need help with feeling better. I will be sharing 5 ways that I've found incredibly helpful for myself and my clients to feel better. They may be surprising. They may not be what you think. They are based on a lot of research and study and putting them into practice myself. So I hope they are helpful to you. Number 1 way to feel better, number 1 is, no surprise, gratitude. We have talked about this before. You know that practicing gratitude, feeling gratitude is one quick and easy way, if it feels right, to help us feel better. So I want to say today that I am incredibly grateful for my body, my mind, and my soul. My soul, my spirit, which is not my mind and is not my body, is something much greater, much more powerful, and tapped into something much bigger than myself. So I am so grateful for those 3 things. And I want you to stop this podcast right now and say out loud 3 things that you're grateful for. Really feel them, visualize them, and feel the gratitude flood your body. It will help you to feel better. Way to feel better, number 2, deep breathing, controlled breathing, proven scientifically, proven emotionally. I don't need to say much more about that. If you're a yoga fan, as I am, this is pranayama. It's part of our practice. Let's do some deep controlled breathing. We will do 4-part breathing, box breathing. You can find videos on it. You can do it yourself anytime. We are going to take 4 mindful controlled breaths in. We'll hold the breath. We'll then, for 4, we will then breathe out in a controlled manner, feeling the relaxation that comes from the exhale for 4. And then we'll hold at the bottom for 4 and repeat 4 times. We'll do this a total of 4 times. Ready? First, just do a breath on your own. Breathe in, hold it deeply, breathe out. Here we go. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Again, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Take a few seconds to allow your breathing to return to its natural rhythm. Close your eyes if you haven't already, and feel the sense of calm that should have provided you with, even if you're just a tiny bit calmer than you were before. Feel it. You can practice that box breathing, pranayama, whatever you want to call it, 4-part breath, anytime you need to. Just count your breath. Way to feel better, number 3. This one might surprise you, but here it is. Name and feel whatever you are feeling fully. If you're feeling something strongly right now, do it with me now. Stay with me and do it now. And consider pausing this and doing more of it on your own and then coming back to me. If you're not feeling something strong right now, just remember this. Building emotional vocabulary has been proven to help us to process difficult feelings. Name what you are feeling. Are you upset? Are you angry? Are you hurt? Are you grief-stricken? Are you heartbroken? Are you devastated? Are you elated and need some support with coming down from that? Any feeling is welcome. Any feeling can be processed. Any feeling can be felt. A feeling will not kill you. And in fact, suppressing it and buffering it away with food, alcohol, distractions, whatever it may be, is much more likely to be harmful. There may be exceptions, but in most cases, for most of us, it's going to be more harmful to not allow yourself to feel that feeling. So I want you to name it, get in touch with it. What is it that you are feeling? Give it a name. And then I want you to just allow yourself to feel it. Some experts say that when you fully feel a feeling, the intensity of that actual feeling can only really last for 90 seconds or so. You may have a different experience. I welcome anything. Nothing I say is 100% or absolute. Take what helps, leave what doesn't. But consider that feeling the feeling fully and moving through it rather than trying to go around it could actually help you feel better. So I want you to do that with me now. Feel the grief, feel the anger, feel the hurt. Don't act on it. Don't go send an email. Don't do anything about it. Just allow yourself to feel it. Is it sadness? What is it? Name it, feel it. If you need more of this, you can pause me, put me on pause, leave me here. I'll be here when you get back, and go fully feel that feeling. You can go lay in the grass if you have a yard or a space. You can go in your bed if it's anger. You can pound a pillow. Just don't say anything to anyone. You don't need to act on it. We don't want to react out of what might be fight or flight or freeze. We want to work through the feelings ourselves. And then maybe later you can think about if you want to say something or not, but just allow yourself to feel the feeling however you need to, and comfort yourself through it. Be there for yourself through it, okay? Or if you want to talk to someone else about the feeling who you know is helpful, if you want to make a therapy appointment, if you want to schedule a yoga class, do whatever you know will help you to get in touch with that feeling and to process that feeling and to allow it to be there. So that is way to feel better, number 3. Way to feel better, number 4. I'm just going to call it reframing. There are lots and lots of ways to look at this, ways to do this. I'm going to call it reframing for us right here, right now, because as we learned in episode 2, and as cognitive behavioral therapy teaches us, our feelings come from our thoughts. It's what we're thinking that creates what we're feeling. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's not necessarily something to change. But being aware of that gives us the option to consider if we want to reframe a thought that's causing us a lot of pain. So if I'm thinking, if I can get in touch with that, I'm thinking, I can't stand her. She is making my life miserable. could I reframe that in a way that will help me to feel better? That's up to you. Again, you might not be ready for reframing, but let's say I'm thinking I can't stand her. She's making my life miserable. I can close my eyes. I can check in with myself. Okay, that's what I'm thinking that's making me feel so angry. Could I reframe? And I'm not likely to be able to reframe in the moment to, I love her. She's wonderful. Could I reframe to, she didn't mean it. She's hurting herself and that's why she hurt me. I will be able to forgive her ultimately. You have to choose your reframe. I think you're smart. I know you are. Choose what reframe will work. You have to be able to believe it, and you may not be able to do it in the moment. Just getting in touch with what is the thought creating the feeling. If it's grief, if it's deep grief and sadness because you're having a thought, my heart is broken that I lost this person or my pet or whatever it may be. Maybe you don't need to reframe that. You just need to see the thought feeling connection, and that feels real and that feels accurate. And then you ask yourself, what can I do? How can I take care of myself? I'm having this thought, I'm having this feeling. But if you do choose to use the fourth technique, reframing, make sure you can believe the new thought, that it's realistic, that it's not fooling yourself, that it's not self-abusive. If your thought is, this person was so hurtful, this person deeply hurt me, you don't have to think, I forgive them, but maybe it's an option. You choose your reframe. It's a new thought that helps you to feel better. It might help you feel calmer. It might help you feel a little bit less suffering in the moment. Now, I want to share an additional concept here for this reframing. And that is, and not a lot of, but some of what I'm sharing comes from my coach certification with Brooke Castillo, the Life Coach School, which is fantastic. We learned hundreds of helpful concepts. Listen to her podcast, the Life Coach School podcast, and she teaches the concept of 50-50. Some people like it, some people don't. I like it. That life is 50-50. That means it's going to be basically 50% good, whatever you put in that category, joy, just feeling okay, feeling elated, feeling fine, feeling content, 50% roughly. The other 50% is not good. It's I'm upset, I'm hurt, I'm devastated, I'm in grief, or I'm just meh, I'm just feeling down today, I'm feeling low energy. You can use whatever numerical quantification of that helps you. I like the simplicity of the 50-50. And then though, what happens is we can add additional suffering to our lives by ruminating, by overthinking, by self-criticism and self-judgment. Go back to the episode on how to be kinder to yourself. You can also go back to my second episode on the model, which teaches us about how our thoughts create our feelings and drive our actions and lead to our results. So all of this is connected to previous content I've shared and Life Coach School content and lots of other content that I read and study. But this 50-50, if you can think about the possibility that life is going to be upsetting and hard and depressing, sometimes it's okay to feel those things, and life is going to be happy and joyful and content. Sometimes it's great to experience that as well. But what we do is we add to that 50% of the not so great part by our thoughts and by creating feelings which are generated by thoughts that are overly self-critical, ruminating and judging and staying in anger and resentment just because it's compelling and it seems energizing when really it's not serving us. So reframe if you can. Think a new thought. Number 5, my final technique is connect to your future self. Whatever it is in this moment that is bringing you so much pain or just a little bit of annoyance or anger or sadness, whatever it is that you want to feel better about, I guarantee you your future self has a different perspective on it, a different take on it. So I want you to connect to that future self. If in the future self you choose is up to you. It could be you a week from now. If it's something relatively minor, it could be you a month from now. It could be you a year from now. It could be you 10 years from now. If you are deep in grief, if you are grief stricken, you might want to go to 10 years from now. The idea is to go to your future self when this is not so top of mind. This is not weighing so heavily on your heart, your mind, your soul. Whenever that future self might be for you, you determine, and I want you to close your eyes. I want you to see that future self. If it's a week from now, your future self is going to look very much the way you do now, but maybe some little annoyance that you just want to get over. It's past. You're over it. See that future self. What is that person, that future you saying to yourself? Is he, she, they saying, just get over it. It's okay. Move on. It's going to be okay. The person didn't mean it. The situation will resolve itself. It's not as bad as you're thinking it is. You're being too hard on yourself. Things are fine. You're not going to lose your job. They're not going to break up with you. Everything's okay. Whatever that future self has to say to you, if it's just a week, a month, if it's just a little bit of time that you need to have that larger perspective on the situation. If this is something that feels incredibly heavy and you need to go much further out, if you've had a major loss and you are really struggling, go 10 years out. No matter how big it feels right now, there's a good chance that in 10 years, even though it may still be a loss, there may still be grief, it will not be top of mind. It will not be anywhere near as heavy as it is for you right now. So close your eyes, go to that you 10 years out, see yourself. You probably have a few more wrinkles, but you also have a lot more wisdom. You've done so much healing and work, and you've had support from yourself and from others, and you have distance from whatever it is. What does that future self have to say to you that can help you right now? Tap into that future self. Feel the love, feel the support, feel the distance from whatever it is that is so difficult right now. You might even want to pause this and go deeper and do a full meditation with your future self. Those are my 5 ways to feel better. There are so many more. Get help from your therapist or find a therapist if you can, if you have the means. Get coaching. Coaching is absolutely mental health support. It's just not meant to be mental health support for diagnoses, for trauma, for deep work that needs to be done to heal the past, for addiction, for depression, clinical depression, but other day-to-day struggles and difficulties, coaching is fabulous for. Get support. And the last thing I'll say, even though I already gave you my 5, since I have another minute, hopefully, of your time, your energy, do something right now to schedule something that you know will help you. I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but schedule a yoga class. Reach out to a friend to have lunch or spend time together. Grab coffee or tea. Reach out to your therapist to schedule that next appointment, or your coach. I know with my coaching, part of my coaching packages, my clients can email me, and I have a couple clients who I just love when they email me and say, I'm really struggling with this right now, and I do my best to get back to them within 24 hours or sooner. So get help however you can. Support yourself. Meditate. I am going to include a couple of meditations that I find really helpful, calming, and healing. If the reframing piece really stood out to you, there's so much more on that, such as my episode 2, such as cognitive behavioral therapy work and reading that you can do. There are so many thought errors that we can easily engage in, such as catastrophizing, all or nothing thinking, magnifying issues. There are so many cognitive distortions that can cause us so much more pain than what we actually do need to feel to process something. So I encourage you to look deeper into all of this, and I'll make sure to include resources and links in the show notes or the description if you're watching on YouTube. I send you so much love, healing from my heart. I hope this was helpful, whether you're just listening to learn now or you needed it in the moment. Thank you so much, and I'll see you or talk with you next time.